Hey guys, how's it all going? Welcome to Let's Talk About Ice with James Watson and Kirby Brownlow. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk about like why we're here and what it is that we do and why we do it. We're here to speak about ice and raise awareness on this drug and what it does in our communities and the effects it has on everyone that uses it and the family members of people that do use and that sort of thing. So we're here today to raise awareness about the drug, and we're very lucky to have a special guest, Kirby, here. Nice to meet you, brother. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing the story with us, bro.
No worries, man.
Yeah. Well, so Kirby's agreed to come on the show. Do you mind telling us a bit about your background, bro?
Yeah, for sure. So I was born in 1984, so I'm nearly 35. I was raised in foster care, so I guess from a young age I was sort of different. I felt different, and I was in foster care as a ward of the state for about 18 years. So I had contact with my foster family and biological family sort of intermittently till I was an adult, which was that's always felt a bit weird, So after that, I joined the army when I was 18 as a rifleman, and did that for about 4 years. And after that, I had all these freedoms, a problem with alcohol, the ADFs. I'm not going to go too much into what the ADF drinking culture is like, but there's been steps lately to sort of knuckle down on that. But while I was in the army, I can, speak from my experience. There's a lot of drinking going on, a lot of junior soldiers getting into trouble and that sort of thing. And I was one of those soldiers that drank a lot and always went to the boozer. But I guess when I got out, I had a drinking problem and some issues with mental health as well, but also a newfound freedom. I wasn't, sort of regimented as part of life as being a soldier. So there was a lot of freedoms. I wasn't required to do any urine screening, so I sort of dabbled in, bits of this and bits of that. And ice was one of those things. Not to the full extent of going into, a raging addiction, but I would partake in using ice. And when I would use ice, I would just binge on it for, those few days. I've never done the whole week thing, but definitely for a few days of intensive ice use.
Can I ask, like your very first interaction with ice? Can you maybe help paint a picture as to how you came across it?
Yeah. So when I got out of the army, I stayed in a hotel room in Highley Street, and the person that I was around at that time was using ice, and I had that freedom to choose, and I thought I'll give this a go. I had a little bit of money. I thought I'll buy some. I'll buy more. We all know that's like once you try that once and start paying for it, that can be the next sort of going down.
It's a habit.
It can be, yeah. But also other things like ecstasy and just leading a real sort of hedonistic lifestyle with drinking and just not caring and all that sort of thing. And it got to the point where I was just a weekend warrior with it and just giving it everything I could until I had to sort of recover and get back into work. Yeah.
Can I ask, like with your childhood, having that sort of upbringing and that sort of thing, I imagine, that would have had a fair impact on your mental health and that sort of thing, and then to go to the army and have like a strict sort of routine and that sort of stuff, and then to come out of the army, that's sort of what the freedom to do what you wanted and party, is that also?
Yeah, I think that's one of the major things for people growing up. If they don't have structure, they don't have support mechanisms in place, whether it be church or a supportive family or whatever, education, whatever it may be, or a job. If they don't have those systems in place, where they're just free to do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah.
And there's that old saying that the idle hands are you've got hands that aren't doing anything, you're going to find something fun to do, aren't you? And that's the sort of situation that I was in, and it got me in trouble. Yeah, so
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you were a lot busy a lot of the time, but then when you came out of the army, it was just sort of...
it was like, oh, I'll give this a go, and then because it felt so good, I got stuck into doing crime and being involved in some serious offending. I'm not going to go too much into that. But I spent some time in jail as a result of sort of the lead up to what use had done with ICE, into, to really, really putting myself in a bad situation, which I take 100% responsibility for. There's a large sort of, group in that world that likes to blame ICE for the reason that they're in there. But the reality is it's the drugs there, you chose to walk towards it. It didn't come to you.
Yeah.
So you can always, say no. I think that's, one of the things that the anti-ICE campaign says is, not no, not even once.
Yeah. That's the message that we, deliver to children and things like that, preventing them from ever touching it. But I guess, like, in saying that, like, once you do know how good it feels, like, I know for me, I had a lot of, like, self-confidence issues and, like, just self-esteem issues and, and all that. So when I first tried ICE, it just seemed like a cure-all, and, I sort of kept doing it because it just, like, seemed to solve everything.
Yeah, I think, that's a major problem for people. I think when there's a problem in their life, they think ICE is the remedy. But, if you don't deal with that problem, and then you put ICE in the mix, your problem is just going to magnify because you're putting something that's another problem into the mix. Although it makes you feel good, it only makes you feel good for that time. You know what I mean? It's got those, that serotonin is just punching at your brain. You're going to feel good because that's what the drug does. And I think education around what the drug does to the body is really important as well.
Yeah. I find it, like with your, like, upbringing and being in the army and that, like, it's still, was able to find you.
Yeah. I mean, it's well known that it's everywhere. It's a cancer. It comes down to choice. And I think that's the choice that people have to make. They have to say no. If it's offered to them, just say no. Because the reality is it's so addictive to just be able to pick it up, have a little bit, and then go, oh, I'm not touching that again. And then the next, weekend or the next day or the next hour, bang, it has this powerful effect of grabbing people and then just destroying them.
Can I ask, because I know myself and, like, I know a lot of people like watching and that sort of thing. I've got friends or old associates, and they've been using for like 15 years and onwards, and they've just been, like pounding at their minds, building this habit of just like using ice. And I remember what it felt like for me, 7 years of smoking ice, and like it was such an uncontrollable urge. Like, I was so scared I couldn't get past it, and I didn't, I wasn't, it can be a really strong, like, feeling that people feel that, pushes them towards us, like, being in the army and that sort of thing. Do you have any tips that you might be able to suggest to them to, maybe help them build, like, some discipline in their mind and that sort of thing to, be able to say no?
Well, that's just it. You need discipline. If you have these issues that are associated with having a problematic lifestyle, if you can't say no, well, that's the first problem. It's like when someone offers you something that you legitimately don't want, whether it's a piece of cake at a party or whatever, and you say no. That's practice for saying no. It's that easy. Although cake's good, we all love cake, but it's just that easy.
It's 3 kilos.
No.
I feel like, that's a very good point. Like, I remember, like, when I wanted ice, I just wanted to feel good. But I think that can maybe be the problem. Like when we look at ice, we need to change our perception of what ice actually is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe that's a good key for you guys that are using, like instead of looking at ice as, something that, potentially makes you feel okay, looking at it as something that is, straight poison, something that makes you broke.
Yep.
And
yeah, it sure does.
just change it.
Yeah.
Can I ask, like, how long did you use ice for?
So, probably started smoking it and eating it and snorting it probably in 2007. I wouldn't say it's been my major sort of illicit vice, probably alcohol.
Yeah.
But it's just that thing when you've had some alcohol, your inhibitions are lowered. Someone will pass you the implement or whatever, and you just go, fuck it, I'll go with that,
Yeah.
You've really got to be careful, that if you're in a position of vulnerability and someone offers you something, and it might not be alcohol, you might just be having a bad day, and then someone goes, oh, have some of this will make you feel better. Bang, into it.
Yeah.
So people have just got to be mindful and be resilient. Soldiers are resilient and trained to be, tough and resilient because of the nature of their work. But I think that if people build, resilience within themselves, it comes down to having the discipline to say no. Just stand in the mirror for half an hour and just think about using it, if you are using it, and just say no in the mirror. And that can be, a positive way of looking at yourself when someone else is looking at you, offering it to you, and then you just say no.
Yeah.
No, but with no, it's not just words. You have to obviously take the action to say no thanks, or not do what you may want to do because you're in a group of addiction, or because you're feeling bad, you might think it's an option to perhaps feel better, which is we all know isn't.
Yeah. I just feel like sorry, I drank water.
I'm not doing it.
I feel like there's like once you try ice, just that once, you're opened up to ice forever. Like ice is always a danger, I believe. Once you've tried it, once you know what it's like, it's a danger for the rest of your life because you know.
I think so. 5 months ago, I had a relapse.
Yep.
And breached my parole. And as part of that, I served 4 months in custody.
So the one relapse?
Yeah, just that one relapse was enough to, end up in hospital as a result of using. Really let my family down. I put my family in a position where they were just, families are affected by seeing someone that's in a position of ill health with drugs, and I really made amends, and it's something that NA has taught me is to apologise to the people that you've mucked around essentially because of your own actions, and that made me feel real good about saying to that person, listen, I'm sorry I put you in that position of seeing me acting like an idiot. But that's just, I guess, where I was. And I think for me, one of the major things for using is the people that I'm around. So I'm always mindful to not put myself in a high-risk situation. So putting myself in a place where ice is. So if I'm
just set yourself up to fail.
Yeah, you are. I mean, it's such a. You're walking into a room that as soon as you've walked into that room, the doors are locked. You're not getting out. And the reality is, as soon as you're in there, you're not walking out of that door until you use it again. If you decide to walk in that room and surround yourself by those people who, at the end of the day, they don't have your best interests at heart because they want to smoke some poison with you.
Yeah. I just want to because we got a few different audiences that watch on here, so I just want to direct the conversation to parents of people that use. Is there anything that comes to mind that you could maybe say to them that they're watching their child go through addiction?
Yeah. I'm not a parent, so I really can't empathise with parents that are out there that have children I know, you know, my brother has children, and I could just imagine just the pain and suffering that he would go through seeing his children on ice. But I think to channel that pain into action, you know, being in a position where you think you can't do anything and you feel helpless is not helpful, because the reality is, if you're, you know, that concerned, which you are, because you're feeling that pain, then take action. Get them into a meeting, you know, put them around people, you know, don't enable them. Okay, so, you know, for instance, if they want to use in your house, don't give them that option. Because I mean, it's easy for a parent to just go, oh, you know, I'll just, you know, turn a blind eye to that and just whatever, you know. But the reality is that child is just going to get worse and worse and worse, and that's your child. Like, you want to see the best for them. You just take action. Just take action, and if your action's not working, just keep punching away at it. You know.
I feel like that as well, you know, because I know a lot of people out there, they don't want to get off the ice. You know, they don't even, you know, they're blind to their problems that they have. They just don't see it and that sort of thing. So I think, you know, I can't speak for you guys out there, but I have children myself, and you know, I can tell you right now that my kids were using drugs and they were heavily addicted. I don't care where they were in the world. I would get them, and I would take them to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a given, isn't it? Like, it's just something that needs to be done.
you know, like, in saying that as well, like with the action sort of thing, there's so many organisations out there, you know, Australian Anti-Ice Campaign being one, particularly for ice, but there's so many drug and alcohol organisations out there, you know, like if you have been affected, you know, like take part in it, you know, commit yourself to it. If something has affected you so heavily, you know, I imagine that's where, you know, you're going to be quite passionate about it, so get involved, you know, and especially if you do feel helpless, you know, like, you know, as you said before, you know, channel that pain and, you know, help other people, you know, going through similar things that you can empathise with. You know, and that's really important about what we do here at the Australian Anti-Ice Campaign. We're all about prevention, you know, so we're going to help addicts when they want help and things like that, but our main function is to prevent children from touching it. So please feel free, for you guys that have been affected by us or like have children using and that sort of thing, please help us. You know, we're a non-for-profit organisation, and it's through your donations that you know, we can continue to prevent children from touching it, continue to help other addicts that are suffering, and you know, keep up our good work. Can you guys hear us?
Do a mic check. Can you hear okay in there? Yeah. So this is a good volume to talk at?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Speak up, man.
Yeah. Speak up. Yeah. Yeah. Get back to the story. Yeah. So. Yeah, so you started using in 2007.
Yep.
Wasn't it? Yeah, and yeah, so ice has sort of always been an option throughout the years that you could sort of turn to at any sort of.
Yeah, I think, you know, being involved in a certain world, you know, it's a big thing. You know, it was always readily available. There's a strong correlation between ice and crime. Obviously, that's well known. It comes down to personal choice. People taking themselves out of a situation,
Yeah.
just completely cutting off people that, you know, are involved with that. If you are in grips of addiction, and just, yeah, because I mean, it's such a destructive substance. And if you want, you know, if you want positivity and to live a life, you know, worth living and to grow as a human, ice is not the answer. You know, the reality is you can achieve so much more with not having ice in your life. You know, it's just the only thing that is going to happen when you use ice has got bad attached to it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I feel like that too. It just holds you back from everything. I notice is is that better? That should be. Yeah. I noticed like when I was using my mental health started rapidly declining. You know, I had so much more anxiety. You know, and I just sort of used ice to rebalance it out. But shortly thereafter, being anxious wreck and paranoid and all that sort of stuff. But continue telling us more about your story anyway, bro. Is there any experiences that you can remember, that I sort of done with a course, because I remember when I was using, and it seemed like when I was using ice, it seemed like I had bad luck a lot of the time, just random bad things would happen, and not random, but it'll be ice related and that sort of stuff. But is there anything that sort of stands out to you?
Well, it's everything really.
Mm-hmm.
You're on such a high. The only time that you feel good is when you are on the drug.
Yeah.
When you stop taking it, in my opinion, is when all the problems start happening. All the bad stuff. So, but if you're going to attract, it's a law of attraction. If you're in that scene and you're using ice, you're only going to attract trouble. So that trouble is going to bring with it its own problems, whether it's from law enforcement, from other people that are giving you grief or whatever.
I think you're right there, because if you're only hanging around with drug addicts and you're only hanging around with other people, then you're sort of you're only vibrating at a really low level, really, so it's just disastrous, really, especially if you guys, want to, just hold you back, and sadly enough, I actually saw someone in the street the other day, and he was sitting on the floor, and, I'm not too sure what the scenario was with him, but, the thing about using ice is, you're going to continue to use, and 20 years down the track, you're going to wake up one day and think, what have I done with my life? You've just been...
I really relate to that because, bang, you start using, how quick does a day go?
Oh,
so
how quick's a week go?
That's a day. What's 20 years? So in fact, if you're not prepared to seek help and take, extreme action, if your family is using ice, if you're not prepared to separate yourself from your family, and take that sort of action, that's a family member, that's someone you love. But if they're not good for you, because they're using and you're using, obviously you can make your own choices. You just need to separate that.
Yeah.
You really do. Because that 20 years is just going to fly. And that's what the drug is. The drug is just bang, 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 bang. You're doing everything and it's fast and it's bang. And the whole week will go.
Yeah.
If you just keep using. And it will go quick. So, like you said, people that have been using for 10, 20 years, I've met some of these people inside and they're zombies. They have a way of viewing the world that is not rational. That's not how the world is, and that's their view because of the destruction that ice has done to their brain over decades of use. So I'm really fortunate that I haven't been in that group for that long, but I've seen very very much firsthand at what 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years has done to people on ice, and it turns them into zombies.
Yeah.
They're just a hollow version of who they were before ice.
Can I ask, you'll just scroll through, see if we got any questions here.
Yeah.
Sorry about the sound, guys. We weren't aware of what was happening. I hope you could hear us a little bit. Yeah, but when you were like using ice, like, because one thing I experienced when I was using ice, and I've been awake for a long time, was you know, I went into drug-induced psychosis. You know, and I was like, you know, I was living in a different reality, and you know, it would appear to me that everything the radio was saying was like relating to me, and like the TV, it appeared as if it was talking to me, and you know, I just had like a lot of like, I hope I don't offend anyone, but I had a lot of like schizophrenic like sort of
Thoughts?
Yeah, thoughts and things like that. Did you have anything like that sort of?
Yeah, I thought, you know, people, police. I mean, if you're involved in certain things in that world, you're going to be careful of where the police are. So it's probably a natural thing. But I understand what you're saying is that paranoia, which is just so intense that, you know, you're doing these ones. I mean, everyone's familiar with them, but I mean, if you're involved in a certain scene, you're already vigilant, and then you're using it. You know, there's been instances where people have been killed over psychosis. That's how important, you know, the message of no is, because people are dying. Literally, people are dying because of ice. You know, it's not just the use, but people are dying as a result of this hyper, you know, this powerful paranoia that's irrational, and then they think, oh, this person's going to do this or this person's going to do that, and then bang, someone's dead. But I think, yeah, if people, you know, are watching for the jacks and worried about that, and then they're using ice as well, it's going to be just as intense. But that paranoia is something that you can pick an addict straight away from. You know, the whole concept of there's people following me. I mean, you're doing something illegal, so it's already sort of a trigger in your brain for wanting to feel paranoid. But with ice, it just accelerates everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely relate. I've had friends that have been diagnosed with schizophrenia because of, you know, long-term use, and that's not a disease that I would wish on my worst enemy. It is just that they're stuck.
In the head.
They're just stuck right there, and you know, the amount of mental illness that's related to ice, it's, you know, anxiety, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, depression, you know, because people are just pumping their brain with all the serotonin, and they can't feel normal after being that high. You know, being normal is just like, oh, I feel depressed. Well, you're not depressed, it's because you had some ice. You know, all that serotonin's been depleted.
That's something that I actually wouldn't mind talking to you about. You know, like being in the army and that sort of thing. How I view ice, I almost like view ice as almost chemical warfare. You know, like behind how addictive it is, like how accessible it is, and like just how, you know, like looking at the statistics, it's got what's the word for it? Like it multiplies. You know, like the amount of users that like start to use, the amount of people that get drawn into it. It just I can't remember the word. Like exponential.
Yep, that's the word.
Yeah.
I think multiplication is the perfect word.
Yeah.
Because if you don't use ice and a friend uses ice, you start using ice.
Yeah.
Now think of it in terms of like a Facebook page. You've got your Facebook page. You become friends with someone who uses ice. You then use ice, and then all your mutual friends start using ice because of, you know, they might have an issue with saying no, or you know, they might sort of corner you. Two people might use ice, and then you're in the middle.
You're bound to
and then
use
bang,
it.
it's going to happen. And I think definitely with use, if you don't use and then you take ice into another social scene, you're exposing those people to harm as well.
Yeah.
You know, and children and, you know, other families and stuff as well.
I think that's something like we really should. Yeah, you know, like this is why we do what we do, and you know, we're not here. The thing about this is like, you know, we have to be really understanding of each other and learn how to communicate each other effectively, and you know, take everyone's perspective into consideration when we're having this sort of conversation with each other. You know, like this, the anti-ice campaign is a very public forum, you know, and everyone's, you know, allowed to come here and talk, and raise awareness and communicate with each other, and also, figure out like how we're gonna, tackle this issue. And it is a community solution to this issue. Just like as we've just spoken about, it infects so many social groups and branches out so much. That's why it's really important that we do what we're doing, and we do have these conversations, and we take the time with each other to understand each other, and bounce back off of each other. No one person is right, and it takes for us as a community and as people together to bounce ideas off each other, to bounce perspectives off each other, and help us all understand better together, and do something about this together. The multiplication thing. It's not just a word. Like, we've seen it. I've seen it. You've seen it. Like, there's so many people around Australia that have seen it. It's everywhere. If you look for it, you can see it like clear as during the day, during the morning, during the night. You can see it like ice activity no matter where you go.
Yeah, there's a radar. Yeah, it's definitely a radar. I think it's not, for people that are not associated with ice and have never been involved with drugs, they're sort of blind to it. People that, it's definitely something I pick up on. You just look at that and go, oh, that's
an indicator.
It's a bit sus,
Yeah.
For people like you and me, we can just see, we could go that,
I suppose we recognise
he's about to score, and it's such a sad thing to see because these people are just stuck, and you just see it and realise it.
Can I ask, like, for you, like, you mentioned like alcohol's been, a big thing for you as well, but what's helped you to manage these like addictions? What has helped you to sort of overcome these, things?
I think therapy's good. It's not the answer for everyone, but I think fear. I've always sort of been driven at a young age. Joining the army at a young age, it sort of inspires a sort of mindset. But I think, with regards to what's the question here? Blooper reel.
Great, now I've got one now. Yeah, wow.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Did someone actually? We'll go back. What was James's question? We'll just try and see if we can go back to the.
How you overcame these addictions?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I guess being from sort of growing up and being a soldier and whatnot, and then getting out of the army, I've always been sort of focused and driven. But I wanted to continue that. I wanted to continue to be driven, although I had relapses here and there. But I think having resilience is really important. And just fear. I think it's fear. If you have an objective of being a driven person, you go, now this is where I want to be. Thinking about using ice was fearful for me. I was like, oh, well, if I do that,
you're not going to achieve.
I'm not going to achieve, that. So the reality, it was that strong, that much destruction had happened in my life because of ice. I knew it was blocking where I wanted to be in life. And I think if people have a genuine fear, whether it's about their health, whether it's about the care for, they might love their mother, but they can see the harm that they're doing, and they should be fearful of that, because I think if you've got fear standing next to you with regards to using ice, and you're mindful that you've got that fear, you can really scare yourself.
I know, like the thing, like with ice, a lot of people, they use it on a day-to-day basis because of the way it affects the brain. It turns off the frontal lobe, and they have no reasoning or logic. They can't actually, and this happened to me as well. We couldn't see the pain that we were causing other people. We couldn't see, what was happening. But like you were saying before, I found that's what worked for me. Was I knew that if I couldn't stop using ice, then I would rob myself of the life that I could have. I knew if I couldn't stop, I would just you know, I would limit myself to a life of just using ice. You know, that's all. I just want to say, like, you know, thank you so much for, you know, serving the country, you know, like, and, you know, like, taking the time out to do that, bro, you know, like, because I feel like that's a undervalued thing, you know, like, and I just want to say thank you for that. No worries, bro. Is there anything else that you, like, have to say about ice, or?
Yeah, I guess being involved in offending and drug use, you know, for a long time, and you know, alcohol as well. One thing I do now is run a business, and what that does is get ex-offenders, which many of whom have used ice and have ice addiction, you know, both prior, during, and after, you know, they get out of custody. I help re-socialise them, you know, and get them on the right track. Now, if they're in you know, the full grips of addiction, I recommend Narcotics Anonymous. I'm not a psych, I'm not a doctor, I can't help people that are fully fledged into a full-blown ice addiction. But I'm happy to, you know, to just say, listen, help is there if you need it, and to, you know, for them to keep going back, you know, and engaging with their name, because it's such a powerful thing for users is when they surround themselves by other addicts.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's about perspective. You know, when people do their shares, etc., within NA, it's all sort of integral, and everyone's sort of pointing in the group towards what the problem is, and it's addiction. But what my business does, ArcoFire, is it sort of trains people as a soldier to deal with life. You know, the training that I've received, you know, things like resilience and discipline and things like that, and building, you know, positive mindsets within ex-offenders so they can move on from the life of crime and drugs.
I feel like, you know, because that's what, you know, the Australian Anti-Ice Campaign, you know, in the training that's provided in the courses on the website, and, you know, what we have available to everyone, you know, we talk about like a tripod of support.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, what Kirby's just saying now is like you'd make for a good, so a tripod of support is having three, you know, influences of support that keep your recovery focused and that sort of thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, and, you know, your business sounds like it can fit, you know, one of those lot spaces that we recommend to people. So, like, that's one thing I want to talk about is, well, I want to mention to you guys is like making sure the Australian Anti-Ice Campaign, Andreas Simmons and George Patricky have, you know, prepared a large amount of training, a large amount of courses, and a large amount of, you know, tools to give people, you know, to help tackle this issue in whatever community that you're in, whether you're in a country town, whether you're in, you know, a different city. You know, the Australian Anti-Ice Campaign has these courses, has these tools that it can give you, so you can roll them out in wherever you are, whatever country town you're in or anything like that. So please, if you're interested in that sort of thing, please get in contact with us. One of the team will drop some links below, or you can go to the website where you can find these things, or reach out to us, and, you know, we can point you in the right direction. I think that's coming up to the finish. Is there anything that you have left to say, or?
I'll just do a cheeky plug. ArcoFire Performance Management. You know, like you said before, tripod of support. That's what we do. We're all about a wraparound service for people when they get out. And I'm happy to just chat with someone that gets out of prison for an hour and just, you know, see where they're at. A lot of people are reticent to move away from crime and drugs and addiction and things like that, and that's fine. You know, I'm not going to be the guy that goes, you have to do this, you have to do that. You know, do this, do this, do this. You know, it's up to that person to change their mindset, and then they can change their life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thanks so much, Kirby, for coming on the show, bro. Yeah, and sharing with us and that sort of thing. So if you guys have any further questions or want to continue the conversation, please do. Please keep commenting, and yeah, we'll reply as soon as possible. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And what do you think about the justice system on ice possession? On ice possession, like the thing about it is, people that use ice and all that, ice possession, I don't know, you know, like, the thing about it is, just like, these people are sick, you know, I was sick. Addiction is a sickness. You know, ice is a, you know, very dramatic, like, sickness, you know, and it's, you know, one of the most hectic ones out there. As far as ice possession goes, I don't have any opinion about that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the SA police do a fine job. You know, the police in Australia, they're doing a good job, you know, on how they're tackling ice and things like that, you know. You know, what they could improve or anything like that, I've got no idea. You know, all I know is about what we can do as a community. And like we said before, it's about us speaking about this issue, you know, and it's not about like jumping at each other, you know. If one person says something wrong or something that offends somebody, it's not about, you know, attacking them. You know, it's about taking the time to understand each other, bouncing ideas off each other and working through this as, you know, together. Do you have anything to say about the Justin?
Yeah, you know, there's laws in place to look at sort of user-related drug crime. You know, so there's a certain amount of drugs that if you're caught in possession of, you'll be charged under a certain law. Obviously, you know, if you're manufacturing or supplying or whatever, there's, you know, penalties of up to life imprisonment. So I think the law is fairly black and white when it comes to looking at how much you know have on you, you know, with regards to possession. And you know, it's a story that you need to present to a court if you're caught with ice.
Yeah.
And everyone's entitled to a robust defence if they're an addict. I think it's important that, you know, like you said, people that are carrying small amounts of ice are generally addicts.
Yeah.
And it's a sickness. So, you know, the court needs to look at, okay, these people that are in possession of small amounts of ice are the, you know, in some cases are the addicts, and they have a sickness and they need to be helped. You know, it's not them that are necessarily.
I do want to talk about like dealers and manufacturers and things like that. You know, people that are purposely pushing. Sorry, Donna. I think people need help, not be locked up and punished. Just real quick, I think people that are manufacturing ice and you know, pushing ice out there, like, I don't know whether they know or not, but they're, you know, committing offence against their own country. They are, you know, it's not like they're, you know, committing offence to their own children, to their own friends, their own family. So, you know, like, like no.
I know what you mean by that. It's, you know, the reality is there's this well-known series called Breaking Bad, and there's this something happens and a plane ends up falling out of the sky as a result of meth and gear or something. I can't remember which episode. I'm not going to go too far into it, but it's about that multiplication factor.
Yeah.
So if you've got, you know, this ice activity happening, the sort of series of unfortunate events can lead to, you know, a car accident. Someone falls asleep because they've been up for weeks. Bang! It goes into your uncle's, your family's vehicle. You know, so there's that much harm associated with ice.
Yeah.
That it's poison. It's literal poison. And like you said, that chemical warfare aspect of it. These people that are, you know, doing ice as a business model, you know, when it comes around to hit them, because something happens because of what they're doing, it's just insanity, isn't it? How can you know, glorify and go down that way when you don't know where it's going?
Yeah.
You know, and who it's going to affect, and at worst case scenario, someone's going to die. You know, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. Yeah, domino effect.
Domino effect, yes. So true.
You know, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, like you know, it's a massive like issue that Australia has. Not even Australia; it's all over the world. You know, and what to do about it. You know, so I highly suggest if it is the sort of thing that, you know, has affected you, know, like get involved. You know, like get involved. That's the only real answer that we have. That, you know, whether it's to help your children, to, you know, help other family members, all you can do is get involved, get trained up, do the courses, you know, and, you know, take those tools with you wherever you go. You know, that's the only answer that there is. you know, so, yeah, I think that's it for us, Kirby. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much, guys, for having us. Thank you so much, Kirby, for coming
no
over. And like I said, thank you for serving the country, man.
Cheers. Thanks, James.
Cheers, bro. All right, guys, remember to keep the conversation going. If you do have comments or any unanswered questions, please put them below and we'll get back to them as soon as possible. Thank you so much.